Test, test. 1, 2, test, test.
President Soto, the time is 5:30.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Adelanto Elementary School District. I'm calling to order this meeting. The time is 5:30. We're going to go ahead and get started with the roll call and quorum establishment. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus present.
Trustee Cairo will be absent tonight. Trustee LaFrench?
LaFrench present.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart present.
Trustee Soto?
Soto present. We have a quorum. Moving on to the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll ask Chain of Command, or Madam Clerk, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Please stand and put your right hand on your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Trustee Stewart. Moving on to the adoption of the agenda, are there any proposed additions, deletions, or adjustments in the order of business?
No, we do not have any.
Thank you. Moving on to the adoption of the agenda, I move that we approve. Is there a second?
Kraus, I second.
Any discussion? Trustee Kraus?
No.
Trustee Stewart?
None.
Trustee LaFrench?
LaFrench, none.
And I have none. We'll take the roll call. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
LaFrench, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
Soto, aye. Motion passes 4-1. Moving on to 4-0. Moving on to staff reports and presentations. Educational services, recognition for the County Science Fair and History Day. Dr. Villegas?
Yes, thank you so much, and good evening to everyone, and we'll welcome you, and thank you for being here. And again, as I've said most of the times, this is really our favorite part of the agenda because we get to recognize our students. And so we have some special folks here that are going to be recognized. And I know, Dr. Valdez, if you're going to share with us a little bit about the background on this.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'm so excited because this is one of the opportunities we get to really recognize our students' hard work and efforts. We had throughout this district, we had a science fair at the different school sites, and then we had recognitions of what was the district science fair. Same thing with History Day, history projects, and then the ones that went for our district went on to the county level. And today we are going to recognize the students who have placed first, second, or third at the county level, and now we'll be moving on to the state level for the state level science fair and history day recognition. So if we can give a pre-applause to all of our students, staff, and parents that are here for our students. And what we are going to request, if some of our trustees who would like to be out in the front to shake the hands of the students as they receive their certificates. And we will have Ms. Carol Coburn, our Director of Educational Services, calling out the students by name.
All right, students, so as I call your name, if you would come up, I will hand you a certificate, and then if you would go down and shake everybody's hand, and then if you could please remain at the front, and we're going to take a picture at the end. All right, I'm very excited to hand out our County Science Fair Award. I will take a minute to read the name, the result for the medal, so they either got a gold, silver, or bronze medal, and then what school they're at. The first recipient is Alana Alvarez, who won the silver medal. She's a 5th grader at Gus Franklin. Next, we have Rafael Trejo. He won the bronze medal, and he's a 5th grader from Eagle Ranch. Next, we have Adrina Melendrez, and she won the silver medal, and she's a 5th grader from Gus Franklin. All right, the next one is Rajip Sin. Am I saying that correctly? Okay. So this student won the silver medal and is an 8th grader from Melva Davis. So we'll make sure that this student gets their award. Next, we have Haley Ortega, who won the bronze medal, and she's a 7th grader from Melva Davis. Okay, and last in our science fair, we have Brian Lee. He won the silver medal, and he's an 8th grader from Melva Davis. All right, and if we could just pause for a picture. I think Miss Kim is going to be taking a picture for us. All right, another round of applause for our students. Thank you so much. We're very proud of you. You may have a seat. Thank you. Okay, next we'd like to recognize our County History Day winners that are going to state, I think this weekend. So we have Jariah Taylor, who's a 5th grader from Victoria McGaffin. We have Valerie Cervantes, a 5th grader from Victoria McGaffin. And we did ask them to wear their medals today. We have Robert Burton. Robert is a 5th grader from Victoria McGaffin. We have Jasmine Burton, who is a 6th grader from Melva Davis. We have Rhea Sign, and 6th grader from Melva Davis. Did I say your last name correctly? No, it's okay. How do you say it? Singh? Singh. Rhea Singh. We have Ophelia Sklowski, an 8th grader from Melva Davis. Congratulations. And we have Emma Martinez, who is a 6th grader from Melva Davis as well. All right, so they're all going to be competing at the state, so good luck to you all. And if you would scoot over just a little bit, we're going to take a picture to commemorate our moment tonight. All right, let's give them another round of applause. Congratulations and thank you.
All right, thank you. Can we give them another round of applause, please? All right, moving on to Educational Services Staff Report of Williams Uniform Compliant Quarterly Report. Dr. Villegas.
Actually, I'm going to pass this over to Dr. Valdez as well.
Thank you, Dr. Villegas. We are presenting to the board an update on the Williams Settlement Uniform Complaint Procedures. This is a quarterly report we have to submit to the board every year. And I'm very pleased to say that we have had 0 uniform complaints filed with our district during this past quarter. So that's a great accomplishment and due to the hard work of our staff and our employees in our district that try to do their best to meet the needs of our students.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you so much. Moving on to declaration of closed session. We'll be taking items 2 through 4 into closed session. But before we do that, we're going to open it up for public testimony. I'm going to read the public speaker card for those that will come up and speak. This public comment period is administered by state law and is the point in the meeting set aside for members of the public to share their opinions with the board. Open meeting laws do not permit the board to engage in dialogue or answer questions. Any person who wishes to address the governing board on closed session items only must complete and submit an AESD speaker request form. From form 5 minutes before the meeting is called to order. Public comments will only be taken on agenda items during the discussion of those items. The board values public comments. We want to hear from you. And although we cannot take action or discuss these items not on the agenda, we listen carefully and we appreciate input from the public. Additionally, a public speaker can be cut off for exceeding the allotted time or for willfully causing an actual disruption to the meeting. Before cutting a person off or removing someone, the board or myself will give you a warning. If you were cut off or warned last time, please consider that your warning. Individual speakers are allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each closed session agenda item. The board limits the total of public input on each item to 20 minutes. With board consent, I may increase or decrease the time allowed for public presentation, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to be heard. I, as the president, may take a poll of speakers for or against a particular issue and may ask that additional persons speak only if they have something new to add. This is not the time for personal attacks. We do value criticism, so just please address your comments to the board as a whole. With that being said, Ms. LeVay, do we have any speakers?
We'll start off with ADTA, and Brian Hahn will be representing tonight.
Good evening, Superintendent Dr. Villegas, Board President Soto, Board Trustees Love French, Stewart, and Kraus, our district cabinet members, fellow colleagues, CSCA brothers and sisters, and community members here in our audience, as well as those on YouTube. First, I would like to congratulate all of our student winners. This is really quite an accomplishment, and it's an honor for you to have reached this place and moving on to state. Earlier in my career, when I was at Shepherd Middle School, I coached for the History Day, and we had a couple of students who actually moved forward to state competition. So it's quite wonderful to see that we've increased the numbers of students advancing to state competition in our district. So let's everyone give our students another big round of applause. On a sad note, as most of you know, Saturday evening, one of our colleagues passed. And so what I would like to share is that ADTA has taken the charge of sponsoring a celebration of life for Mr. Mark Forbes, which will be conducted this coming Friday evening from 5 until 8 p.m. at the Columbia Middle School MPR. A use permit was completed for the use of the facilities, and I actually met today with Mrs. Cozart and followed up with her because she was in full support of, having something for Mr. Forbes, and then also making sure we were honoring the wishes of Mr. Forbes' wife as well. So they are grateful to Mrs. Forbes is quite grateful that this is going to be done for Mark. The theme of the for the celebration of life is country and cowboys, because Mr. Forbes was a huge Dallas Cowboys fan, and he was never a business casual person or a very business dresser. He was more of a country dresser, and so the theme will be countries and cowboys and country, with country music playing in the background, and people can come in casual wear, because that's what his wife feels he would most want. So once again, that will be this Friday evening from 5 until 8 at the Columbia Middle School MPR, and light refreshments will be served. The next item I'd like to bring to the attention of the board is summer school. The teachers are excited about summer school, and the only thing we're concerned is we don't think we're publicizing it enough. We would like to see more publicity going out for summer school. And then the other issue that a number of teachers have brought up is that in years past, when teachers were notified, and Carol Coburn actually took the charge on that for many years, and teachers were notified. And once teachers were notified that they had a position, they were then also recruiting students from their school sites to attend. And it looks like teachers won't be notified until almost the 20th of May. And I think that's a disservice to the district in terms of not being able to reach as many students as possible. So I really think that we need to bolster the campaign of publicizing our summer school, because it's a great benefit to our students, and our teachers really want to be involved with helping our students during the month of June. The last thing I will bring up this evening is the Beyond the Bell. And I know that the advisory committee for Beyond the Bell has been meeting with Dr. Lee, and that's been going very well. And I know that proposals from potential vendors have been reviewed, and the interview process will begin. And we are looking forward to having the presentations from these vendors who will provide sunrise service for our students, after-school service, intersession service, and summer school service. So it's an exciting time And we do have a lot of competitive vendors that are looking to join us here in the Adelanto Elementary School District. So, and we only want the very best for our children here. So we really want to work hard and make sure that we have all the vendors in place who will do the very best job to continue what we do during the daytime hours with our students in the classrooms. Thank you so very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Any representative from CSEA?
Diane Lynn, if she's in the audience. She's not, so we'll move on to public speakers. Kim Smith, please.
Can we identify, Ms. LeVay, do we have a closed session item that the speaker will be, Ms. Kim will be speaking on?
She actually has 4.1, 4.2, 4.4 students.
I don't know if that's in closed session or not.
As board members, do you go back in closed session and speak about students and their successes?
We do, but I mean,
There's ADTA litigation that's on there. I mean, the negotiations, which teachers are with the students, so it has to deal with students as well.
So you're speaking about students?
Yes, that's what it said on the paper, yes.
Would you be open to moving it to open? That's typically when we talk about open session items.
I'd rather do it now, we have families here, they probably like to hear what I have to say. And I have some of my students here as well.
Okay, so I'll allow it this time, Ms. Kim, but moving forward, you know, if it's not explicitly on the agenda in closed session, we have to move.
Okay, I will look it up. I just want to say, I want to argue back and forth. Thank you for allowing me to do that. However, I do believe the Brown Act does state that I can speak regarding this, so we'll get into it later on, but for now, I'd like to speak just so that you can hear what I have to say.
Sure, I'll allow it.
First of all, but I guess before I speak, congratulations again to the students, as well as just thank you for speaking, Mr. Hahn, just regarding Mark Forbes, because I was going to say something regarding that as well, just the celebration of life. So glad that we are looking towards teachers and celebrating them. Hopefully we can start celebrating them here while they're here with us and not just once they've passed away. So like it's been said, we've had a little discussion. My name is Kimberly Smith. I have been teaching for 29 years. And for the past 21 years, I've proudly taught 5th grade at Victoria McGathan Elementary School. So like every educator in the state, I was fingerprinted and vetted as an upstanding citizen, and I have maintained that standard throughout my career. My family is also connected to the district. My husband just retired from this district last year and now serves as a guest teacher, and our children were also educated in the Adelanto schools before continuing on to college. So we're very proud about the Adelanto Elementary School District. Just wanted to share that with you so that you know who I am. As the end of the school year approaches, I'm always amazed at the growth my students make. Some soar academically, some are still working to understand the basics, but I remain proud of every one of them for finishing the year and doing their best. Every day I tell my students to stay in their lane and to handle your business, because they are the ones who will determine their futures. But tonight I just want to ask a different question, and this goes towards us just speaking about Mark Forbes. What is your dash? If you look at a headstone, you will see 2 dates, a birth date and a passing date. And in between those 2 dates is a small dash. That dash represents everything a person did with their life, their character, their work, their impact on others. Over the last few years in the district, we have sadly lost several educators. And I think we can all agree on something. We are very clear about what their dashes represented. Their dash represented service. It still represents. Their dash represents dedication to students. Their dash represents showing up every single day to make a difference in children's lives. And the truth is, every one of us in this room right now is writing our dash. In the classroom, my dash is simple: teaching children, creating a safe learning environment, helping students believe they can build a future. Because the truth is, classrooms don't run on politics. They run on preparation, patience, and people doing their jobs. Every position in this district has its own lane, and when people stay in those lanes, trust grows. When they don't, people notice. So as a school board and as a unit, as President Soto often reminds us that you are all a unit, I would just like to ask the same question of all of you, especially as you go back into closed session. What is your dash going to represent?
30 seconds.
Is it serving the district? Is it serving the employees who do the work every day, like our bus drivers? Happy Bus Driver Day today, yay, we love you. Or most importantly, is it serving the students who are the reason we are all here? Because tomorrow morning, when the bell rings, the only thing that will matter is what reaches the students sitting in our classrooms. And the best way to serve this district well is to make sure every adult in it is doing the job they were entrusted to do. Because when people remember our time here, they will not remember agendas, motions, or meetings. They will remember the difference we made for our children. And that is what our dash should represent.
Thank you.
For the sake of our most precious clientele, our students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Lauren Benson under item 4.2, negotiations.
Good evening, board members, cabinet, those in attendance, and those watching on YouTube. My name is Lauren Benson, and I have been teaching in this district for 20 years. I've been coming to speak at board meetings regularly because I believe it's important for the public to hear perspectives that may not always be apparent during these meetings. I want to begin by addressing a concern. I am troubled by what I believe are violations of the Brown Act, specifically attempts by President Soto to limit or
Ms.
redirect my
Benson.
public comments.
Ms. Benson.
You do not have the
Stop
right
for
to
time,
control the
please.
content of my speech or
Ms.
prevent
Benson.
me from addressing specific board members.
Ms. Benson.
Not only is that protected under my First Amendment rights, it is also raising
Order.
concerns under
You're out of decorum. I'm giving you a warning to stop. I'm the chair of the meeting, and I'm ruling that you are out of decorum. I'm giving you. Okay, miss, you're done. You can do what you need. You're done. You can take a seat. Thank you.
Point
You can take a seat.
of order.
Uh,
It is my right.
I'm
one
sorry.
second. 1 second.
No, I'm sorry. It is my right to speak at a meeting, and that's what I'm here to do. Thank you.
I am the chair of this meeting. Okay, I'm ruling you out of order. You keep interrupting. You keep going back and forth. You've been here before. You know the rules.
Thank you.
Mr.
I'm here to speak
Okay,
on the
this is your
agenda.
final warning. Please take a seat. Okay, we're gonna have security.
I'm confused.
1 second, please. Security, can we please have her
We
removed?
vote together, though.
No,
I'm
sorry.
confused.
I addressed a concern about a prior Brown Act
We're gonna take a
violation,
5-minute
and I would like to
recess.
go through
Yeah.
my speech. Thank
Let's
you.
take a recess.
We're gonna take a 5-minute recess. We'll be
Yeah.
back at 7:01. All right. The time is 6:09. We're reconvening. We're going to continue the public comments. Ms. Benson, you can come up, please. I will allow you to finish your comments. I would ask that you please stick to closed session items only, but at the next one, we will be sticking to closed session items only.
You do understand, though, the Brown Act says it can be any agenda item. I'll bring it back. I'll bring you a copy if you guys need it, but it does say any agenda item. But this is for closed session. So now back to tonight. We are in full swing for state testing, and my students are doing their best to show what they know. Shout out to our tech team for always making sure we're up and running and everything is going smoothly. My primary responsibility is to teach my students and to do so to the best of my ability. Part of that responsibility includes teaching them to be informed and engaged citizens, encouraging them that if they see something wrong, they should speak up. We are wrapping up another successful year at Gus Franklin, and I'm proud of the work happening in my classroom. But I do have to ask, when will we be able to say the same for the district as a whole? We continue to face ongoing budget challenges and staffing shortages that have yet to be adequately addressed. When will this district return its focus to what truly matters, doing what is best for students and for the employees who serve them? After all, that is your responsibility. This board has spent a significant amount of money on a firm to help improve internal collaboration, yet it still appears that a small group is making decisions and overriding others. That is concerning. I have also previously mentioned about the exceeded conference budgets by more than double, along with additional spending on other travel by board members. These expenses are funded by the district, and I believe it is reasonable to ask what measurable outcomes have resulted from this investment. I sincerely hope we do not enter another school year facing the same unresolved issues. Progress will only come when this board begins to actively listen to its teachers, those of us who work directly with students and understand their needs. Gus Franklin was recently recognized by the state as a blue ribbon school and was featured in the daily press yesterday. The celebration was last Friday. This is a significant achievement, yet no one from the district has come to speak with our staff about what we are doing right, how those practices might be shared across the district. Teachers need time to collaborate, to share strategies, to support one another. We are the ones who understand what works best for our students, and our voices should be part of the solution. With all of the changes and discourse, I sincerely hope that your mission is to get us back on track. Last week, we celebrated Administrative Professionals Day, so I would like to thank all of the administrative professionals out there, especially our wonderful Vanessa at Gus Franklin. And I would also like to say Happy Bus Driver Day. Thank you, bus drivers, for always getting our kids to school safely. I know many of them would not be able to attend school without you, so thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
That concludes the speakers for tonight.
All right, moving on to closed session. I move that we go to closed session. Is there a second?
Stewart, I second.
We'll take the roll call. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
LaFrench, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, I.
Trustee Soto?
So do I. 4-0. The time is 6:13. We're in closed session. Thank you. Good evening. Time is 7:46. Reconvening from open session. We'll take the roll call in quorum establishment. Ms. LeVey?
Trustee Kraus,
Kraus present.
Trustee La French,
La French present.
Trustee Stewart,
Stewart present.
Trustee Soto.
Soto present. We have a quorum. Moving to closed session reports. No closed session items, no reportable actions from closed session. Moving on to public testimony. Do we have any public comment speakers? Ms. LeVey?
Don't have audience, but let me look on Zoom. I do have a couple on Zoom, several. Karen, Michelle Walden, please. Michelle Walden, she's on Zoom.
Yes, we're asking them to unmute now.
Hello,
Good evening.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so President Soto, I would like to talk on 2 agenda items and one other thing, and I just want to make sure I'm reading this correct. I'm not going to need the full 9 minutes, but I get 3 minutes for each item, right?
Just 3 minutes in total. Ms. Walden, I can give you an extra 30 seconds if that's helpful, or another minute?
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Okay. Let's give
Thank
her
you.
3 minutes and 30 seconds, please.
Thank you so much. All right, good evening, everybody, board, trustees, cabinet. Concerns. How do we get our spending and budget back in balance? First thing we've got to do, you guys, is we stop approving any spending without checking to see if we're using it. Is it worth the money? And are the people actually, you got to talk to the people who are using it, that you're purchasing it for. We can't just push these items through because we did it last year. We can't keep repeating the same pattern and expect things to change. Did anyone ask the principals at Mesa Linda or Columbia about the services they've received from the Blue Knight Security? If you'd asked Columbia, you would have heard that it does nothing to make any of us feel safer. You would have heard that in the 2 years that they've been on our campus, we've called on them once and they were of no help. One other time, our admin had to walk out to his car, which is in the farthest spot away from our front door, knock on his window and asked him to move his vehicle to a different location so that he could ensure safety. He said she'd have to call Jerry, and Jerry would have to call him to tell him to do it. What's the point? She doesn't even have the number to the person in the car. She has to call Jerry, and he sends somebody running to the car. How is that effective? We have caught these people sleeping. They're supposed to be monitoring the campus, trespassers. They do not catch trespassers. This is $288,000 that we are just pushing through because we had it last year. We can't do this anymore. This is why we're in trouble with our budget. District Blue Knight Security. I understand that we need security, but why do we need 2 armed security guards? One should be sufficient. Okay. Vehicles are not marked when they're on campuses. They're in unmarked cars. Sorry, a colleague called me and I got off track here. Okay, then we have another issue with our SIPSAs. Our principals are spending all this time writing out beautiful SIPSAs. They go through many hands at the district office, only to have them denied. Do you know that our school district has more stringent rules about how we can spend the money than the county does? The county will allow us to do something, but the district says no. How is that spending our money effectively? These school sites have over $1 million. You should see how many of them have actually been able to spend any of the money. They can't spend the money because it's denial. All that beautiful work that you see in that boardroom, all that art from Columbia, our principal paid for themselves. Everything you see at Columbia, they are paying for themselves. They can't keep doing this. We need to support our principals. They can't be the ones being in charge of everything. You need to help them and you need to help our district. Please watch the budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Karen Hopper.
We are asking them to unmute now.
Hello? Hello?
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Tonight I want to speak about accountability, ethical leadership, and responsible use of taxpayer-funded resources. Public trust in the school district depends on one simple principle. The rules should apply equally to everyone, whether you are a classified employee, a teacher and administrator, or a sitting board member. Public resources must be used for public purposes, not personal convenience. There are serious community concerns regarding the possible use of district vehicles and district personnel for what appears to have been personal transportation unrelated to official district business. Specifically, questions have been raised about whether district transportation resources and employee times were used to transport a family member of a sitting board member for personal reasons due to a knee surgery without proper authorization or within the establishment policy. If true, this would represent more than poor judgment. It would represent a misuse of taxpayer funded resources and an abuse of public trust. District vehicles are not personal taxis. Employees are not personal assistants for elected officials, and taxpayer dollars are not meant to subsidize private family needs. Every parent in this district makes sacrifices. Every employee follows procedures. Every taxpayer expects public funds are not spent responsibly, and every transparently no one should receive no one should receive special treatment because of their title or position. If there was legitimate medical need, the proper approvals and documentation should exist. Policies are not there for a reason, are there for a reason to ensure fairness, accountability, and protection for everyone involved. But when questions arise, there is no transparency. The public is left wondering whether one set of rules exists for leadership and another for everyone else. That damages trust. This is not about personal hardship. People face difficult situations every day. This is about whether public office is being used properly and whether district resources are being protected as they should be. Leadership requires higher standards, not special privileges. I'm calling for district to review this matter thoroughly, ensure all policies regarding district vehicles used, the employee assignments were followed, and
20 seconds.
provide transparency to the public regarding how taxpayers' resources are being managed. Silence only creates more distrust. Accountability restores confidence. Our schools cannot ask for community for trust, support, and funding while ignoring legitimate concerns about how resources are being used. The public deserves answers, taxpayers deserve accountability, and our students
Thank you.
deserve leadership. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Daryl Whitaker.
We are asking them to unmute now. We are asking them again to unmute.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. Good evening. I want to speak tonight about professionalism, accountability, and the example we set for our students. As educators and district employees, we are entrusted with more than, than lesson plans and job titles. We are expected to model respect, integrity, and inappropriate conduct. Our students watch how adults behave, how we handle disagreements, and how we treat others, especially when tensions are high. This is what is deeply concerning our teachers. Appears to engage in ongoing personal attacks, hostility, and behavior that creates division rather than professionalism. When that behavior continues over a long period of time and is directed towards trustees or district leadership, it raises serious concerns about workplace culture and leadership accountability. Disagreement is normal. Questions are healthy. Constructive criticism is part of any functioning organization. But there's a difference between professionalism, disagreement, and repeat conduct that crosses the line into personal targeting, hostility, and disruption. When this teacher continues this pattern without consequence, it sends the wrong message, not only to staff, but to students and the community. We're teaching our students that if the adults in charge tolerate behavior that would never be accepted in the classroom. What standard are we setting when professionalism is optional for some but expected from everyone else? Students are taught about respect, boundaries, and accountability every day. They are told their actions have consequences. The same standard should apply to adults in the district. No employee should be above accountability simply because addressing the issue is uncomfortable. The district has a responsibility to ensure that all employees uphold professionalism standards, maintain respectful conduct, and contribute to safe and productive environment. Ignoring repeated inappropriate behavior only allows it to continue and damages trust in leadership. This is not about personal conflict, it's about expectations. It is about protecting the integrity of our schools and ensuring that those who represent the district reflect and values we claim to stand for. I am calling on our district leadership to address this issue seriously, fairly, and consistently. Accountability should not depend on position, popularity, or
30
politics.
seconds.
If we expect our students to act with respect and responsibility, we must demand the same from every adult in the district, including the teacher. Leadership requires action, not silence. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Sarah Sherman, she's on Zoom.
We are asking them to unmute now.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good evening, board. Good evening, attendees, and good evening, Zoom. I find it deeply concerning that during this board meeting, a teacher who was speaking had her microphone silenced and was threatened with removal simply because she mentioned a board member by name. Public comment exists so that concerns can be shared openly, and from what I've observed, she was not inciting disruption. She was trying to inform the community about what is happening within the district. Silencing voices in this way undermines transparency and trust. I would like to ask our interim superintendent this question. How is it that a board member who reportedly has a restraining orders filed against him by 3 district employees is still permitted to be present at district board meetings, knowing there is a strong likelihood of encountering those individuals at their workplace? From what I understand, at least one such encounter has already occurred. Additionally, concerns have been raised publicly at multiple board meetings dated July 29th and August 12th by a young woman who stated that she was groomed by this same individual as a child. These are serious allegations that cannot simply be ignored. We are a district responsible for the safety and well-being of children. That responsibility must come first. I am asking that these matters be thoroughly and transparently reviewed to ensure that our students, staff, and community are safe. Whether these concerns are substantiated or not, they deserve careful and impartial investigation. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
We have one more speaker, Roxy Koff.
Asking them to unmute now.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Litigation is avoidable. When someone sees potential wrongdoing and chooses to speak up, that person should be protected, respected, and heard. Instead, too often the exact opposite happens. The whistleblower becomes a target, as in this case of the former SEP and now trustee. They stepped forward to expose actions they believed were improper, unethical, and potentially illegal. They did not do so for personal gain. They did not do so to create conflict. They did so because they believed that doing the right thing mattered more than staying silent. Whistleblowers are not troublemakers. They are often the only line of defense against misconduct that harms employees, students, families, and the public trust. Speaking up takes courage, especially when the people being questioned hold power and influence. But rather than investigating the concerns honestly and transparently, the focus shifted. Instead of addressing the allegations, the district forced out the very person who raised them. The message became clear: silence is safer than truth. Now that individual is being portrayed as a problem, as if integrity is the offense. Their reputation has been challenged, their character questioned, and their motives attacked. This is one of the oldest tactics in the books. Discredit the messenger so no one has to confront the message. But the real issue remains unanswered. Were the allegations invested thoroughly? Were policies followed? Were public resources protected? Was the law upheld? These are the questions that community deserves answers to, not distractions, not retaliation, and not silence. When institutions ignore whistleblower allegations, they do more than fail one employee. They fail the public they are supposed to serve. They create a culture where fear replaces accountability and where wrongdoing is protected instead of exposed. That is dangerous. Leadership is not about protecting positions, it is about protecting principles. Transparency, ethics, and accountability should never be optional. We should be asking why someone was forced out for doing what many of us hope we would have the courage to do ourselves. We should be asking why the district continues to ignore serious concerns rather than confront them directly. Because when the truth is punished and silence is rewarded, everyone loses. Doing what is right should never cost someone their career, but when it does, it reveals far more about the institution and those in power than it does about the whistleblower. The community is watching, the truth matters, and accountability cannot be ignored forever. This matter should be litigated and could cost the district millions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
That concluded tonight's speakers.
All right, moving on to the adoption of the minutes. I move that we approve. Is there a second?
Kraus, I second.
We'll take the roll call. Ms. LeVay.
Trustee Krause.
Kraus, aye.
Trustee LaFrench. Trustee Stewart.
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto.
Soto, aye. Motion passes 4-0. Moving on to the consent agenda, we'll taking items 2 through 25. Does any trustee want to pull an item? Trustee Krause?
Just 11.11 business services, purchase order warrant listing. That's it. Thank you.
Trustee Stewart?
I have none.
Trustee LaFrench?
I have none, thank you.
And I have none. I move that we approve the consent agenda with the exception of 11.11. Is there a second?
Love French, I second.
We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Krause.
Kraus, aye.
Trustee LaFrench.
Love French, I.
Trustee Stewart.
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto.
Soto, aye. Motion passes 4-0. Moving to the items removed from consent. 11.11, I move that we approve. Is there a second?
Kraus, I second.
All right, we'll open it up for discussion. If there's any, Trustee Krause?
No discussion, just pulled the vote. Thank you.
Trustee Stewart?
I have no discussion.
Trustee LaFrench?
None.
And I have none. We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Krause.
Kraus, nay.
Trustee LaFrench.
Love French, I.
Trustee Stewart.
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto.
Soto, aye. Motion passes 4-1 or 3-1 with Trustee Krause voting no. Moving on to new business. Selection of the superintendent search firm. I move that we approve the Acosta Group. Is there a second?
Kraus, I second.
We'll open it up for discussion. Trustee Krause?
No discussion. Thank you, President Soto.
Trustee Stewart?
None.
Trustee LaFrench?
None, Love French.
All right, well, I actually wanted us to talk about actually the timeline of this. Obviously, it seems like we're going to be moving forward. It sounds like the board picked the Acosta Group. I wanted us to talk about, what are the next steps? If we're looking at the timeline, what do we want to do? I mean, we haven't even signed up, so the contract still needs to come back for board approval, and we're already going to be in the month of May. And I believe I've shared very briefly the timeline that it would overlap, right? So if we're just to summarize, we'd be getting a superintendent around September or October. I'm just curious if there's any thoughts, if any thought was put into the timeline, because I'm sharing my concerns about it. Um, there's been narratives out there about the timing when we, you know, make certain decisions, and I would want us to kind of move away from that. So I'm kind of curious if there's any thoughts about what we want to do with the firm. Obviously, we'll pick the firm, but I mean, do we want to have this discussion at the next one? I'm, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted us to talk about with the next steps. What do we want to do next? Trustee Kraus?
Yes, thank you, President Soto, for opening up the floor on that. I appreciate your comments on there. We do know, it's my understanding, and Dr. Villegas, I appreciate all the information you've given the board over the last several months regarding a superintendent search and how that would work. With the group that we have, one of the concerns is that, not with the group itself, but the timing, as you stated, President Soto. I want to make sure that they have enough time to thoroughly do their job and not be rushed to do whatever it is that they do. This is what they do. They're experts at this, right? And so I would want to hear, we did see at a prior board meeting kind of the timeline of what they were presenting and what they were, putting out there. And if I recall correctly, I think it was looking at July. But we're going into May right now, May, June, July. That would be a 3-month process. Again, I'm not sure that is a long enough process, but at the same token, we're in prime superintendent season right now. And what I mean by that is that any superintendent or potential superintendent is out there applying, is out there looking, because they generally start July 1st. So we, on one hand, don't want to rush it. We want to take our time. But on the other hand, we may shoot ourselves in the foot with some good candidates as well if we take a longer process. So I don't know what the happy medium is there in the middle, but I hope that kind of makes sense what I'm saying, that we do want to take our time, we want to do it right, but at the same time, we also want to figure out maybe a way to maybe capture some people that are interested in our district and coming to our district without someone else picking them up by July 1st.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we need to get this right. We have one shot. We have one opportunity. We have a reputation that we are aware of when it comes to superintendents, and we need to get it right this time. I know there are districts. For example, Alan Musarino was at Yorba Linda Placenta, and I think he was there. He just stepped down once they actually found the permanent superintendent. So I know I'm very much aware of districts that will wait until it's the right time to actually initiate the search firm. I don't want to rush this. I mean, speaking for myself, I want to get this right. We have one shot at this. So I wanted to open up that discussion for us to, what do we want to do? How does that look like? So that's where I'm at,
I would agree that I don't want to rush this either. And I'm aware of our history.
I have no comment.
Okay. All right. Well, it's, I could, what I'm hearing is, yeah, we want to get this right. So perhaps we bring it back and as an action item so that we can officially give some sort of direction, or do we want to do that now? Up to the board, but it sounds like let's select the firm is what I'm hearing, well, depending on the vote, and then we'll put a pin on it. And then if, that's what I'm hearing. We'll put a pin on actually starting the search, but we will actually pick the firm. We follow the process. We did the independent committee. We had no influence over that. The district then gave us the top scoring firms, and we had 3. And I mean, we did it as transparent as we can. I don't know what we could have done more, but yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Let's just pick the firm, but maybe we slow down a bit. Maybe we put a pin on this, unless there's an objection.
I appreciate the time that was put in order to pick the firm, and I appreciate them going through the selection committee and coming up with the ones that they came up with. I want to say thank you for the time that they put in for doing that. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Trustee LaFrench. Absolutely. Yeah. And anything else, colleagues?
No.
Colleagues, no. All right. We'll take the vote for Acosta Group, and then we'll put a pin on the firm for Ms. LeVay. Another vote, please.
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
LaFrench, nay.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, nay.
Trustee Soto?
Soto, aye. Motion fails 2-2. Okay, interesting. Moving on to Educational Services, approve and adopt the second read of board policy. District. So if the motion fails, I'm going to, never mind. Is there a question?
No,
Yeah,
just
or
wanted to have clarification. If motion fails, then is the intention for it to come back in future time?
I want to follow up on what the Rosenberg Rules of Order is, but yes, I believe this can come back.
I mean, it's allowable, but okay. So I just want to get some direction on that.
Yeah, it's gonna have to come back. So I don't know why. Anyways, all right. All right, moving on to approve and adopt the second read of Board Policy 5113.12. Is there a motion that we approve? Is there a second?
LaFrench, I second.
All right, we will take the vote. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
LaFrench, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
So do I. Motion passes 4-0. Moving on to governing board member reports and announcements. We'll start down the line. Trustee Kraus.
Thank you, President Soto. Good evening, everyone. First off, I wanted to thank our bus drivers at School Bus Driver Appreciation Day on the day that we have a board meeting. So that's really exciting, and I know they're out there working every day to transport our students from home to school and back. So we do appreciate all the hard work that they do, as well as our mechanics that help keep our buses operational, and our transportation office that also helps keep a well-oiled machine running. I want to congratulate all of the students that hopefully did really well on state testing. I know that they were prepared. Dr. Villegas had sent out some videos prepping the families, so thank you again, Dr. Villegas, for that. That's a great idea to encourage them on that. We recently had the budget committee meet, and so as we move through the budget process, we're getting into the adopted budget coming up. Well, the May revise comes out in May. We'll hear what the governor has to say, and then the district will continue to look at the revenues and expenditures, and hopefully the budget committee will come up with some great ideas on how we can maintain a balanced budget, not just this year, but all 3 years for our multi-year projection. As we've heard this evening from Mr. Hahn, my sympathy goes out to the Forbes family. You are in my prayers, and I look forward to the celebration of life, and I appreciate ADTA hosting that at Columbia Middle School. We're looking forward to hopefully opening our pool for our families again this summer. It's always an exciting time. It's one of the best pools, I think, in the high desert, and hopefully that our families will get to enjoy the pool over the hot season. Hasn't been too hot yet, but hopefully when that does happen, we'll be able to open that up to our families and community. Gus Franklin, I want to thank you, congratulate everybody, and thank you for all the hard work you did to receive the Blue Ribbon recognition. It's exciting when we see that, whenever any of our schools get recognized. And we're always proud of all of the work that goes into ensuring that our students are a success, not only from the staff, the teaching staff, the classified staff, the families, everybody that's involved in the process of ensuring student success. So it's a team effort, and so thank you for all you do at Gus Franklin. Very exciting that they received that recognition this year. Earlier this evening, there was a vote for the superintendent search process, and I'm not quite sure why it failed. I can't speak for anyone else. I do know that the firms that the committee selected were well vetted, and I will say again, transparently, I have no interest in any of these firms, no financial interest, no familial interest related to anybody or ever worked with anybody on these firms. We do need a superintendent, and I don't believe that I'm trying to rush the process. But one of the things about these superintendent firms is they have a lot of work going on in other districts. There are over 1,200 districts in the state. Unfortunately, we're one of those 1,200. And if we don't get into their queue at some point, they're going to say, we're sorry, we gave you a chance now twice to hire us, and you chose not to. And this is, again, my opinion of one trustee. The absence of a third trustee this evening that potentially would sway the vote one way or the other, not sure how they would vote, but I think that it's a shame that this knowingly would fail on a 2-2 vote, because any 2-2 vote dies. We do need a superintendent. We appreciate the work Dr. Villegas is doing, but we as a community, not just as a trustee, I live here and work here and reside here, been here for 25 years, we need a solid superintendent. And we're not going to be able to do that alone. We're not going to be able to do that on EdJoin. We're not going to be able to do it hoping somebody comes from down the street and knocks on our door. We need a well-vetted company like the Costco Group or a group like them. In this case, the Costco Group was recommended to us by the district committee. I do not want to discount our committee that selected these groups to come to us for consideration. All we're doing is kicking the can down the road by not approving this organization this evening to do the superintendent search. And one of the things that I will not stand for is political gamemanship. And this is an election year. And I hope that people remember, come November, the two trustees that voted no twice now on this Costco Group to recommend for a superintendent search come November. And last thing I'd like to say, we are here for our students. We're not here for ourselves. We're not here for anyone else. At least I can speak for me. I'm here for our students, and I will always be here for our students. And every decision that I make is based on that fact. And so I hope that we all remember why we are truly here at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Kraus. Trustee Stewart.
Let's see here. Well, first I had a question, which it doesn't have to be answered right now, but I did send Dr. Villegas a email about how the RFP processes for vendors that work with our students. For example, the board voted on a vendor to work with our kids during summer school, and I just was curious about how that process works, because I don't think about it, because I don't work for the district. I see what the district brings, and I read through it, and then I vote. So couple of weeks ago, I was informed that Millionaire Minds will not be returning to AESD, which, saddens me, because I always felt that they had a great positive impact on our kids. The after school programs are winter wonderland for the foster kids. When I have been to schools, after the school hours, and I've seen the staff interact with the students, it's always been positive. But I guess now they will not be returning, and I guess that's why I had a question about the RFP process. So, hopefully I get the email so I can get more information on that. On April 17th, there was a fourth grader at Gus Franklin that was choking, and the teacher found it necessary to perform the Heimlich maneuver to save this child's life. And she, had stated she was worried that she might break a rib, but the stuff wasn't coming out. She did one good squeeze, and that the food shot out of the mouth. The student was sent to the nurse, and then he was parents were called, and he was seen by a medical professional, and he turned out to be okay. So I want to thank Lauren Benson at Gus Franklin for saving that child's life. And I suggest that all teachers please make sure your CPR is up to date, because you never know when you will be needed. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but if it does, you'll know what to do. Lastly, I do not regret my vote at all. Okay. I believe we had a good superintendent. The board disagreed, and the board and the majority board got their way. How I vote is how I vote, and I always vote what's best for the district. So I don't regret it one bit. I don't care what year it is. If it's an election year or not, I will always do what's best for the kids and for the staff, because we need a running district to work well for our kids, because the kids deserve it. Okay, please have a good night.
Thank you, Trustee LaFrench.
Thank you. I'd like to start off by congratulating Gus Franklin Elementary School on receiving the California School Recognition for the Blue Ribbon Award. I want you to know that this is an incredible achievement and a reflection of the hard work of the entire school community over there. So once again, congratulations. I also want to say thank you to our superintendent, and I want to say thank you, Dr. Villegas, for all that you're doing over here. I want to thank you for Saturday school being brought back. I want to thank you for those conversations that we have that, to me, has brought our board closer than we've been in quite a long time. Thank you very much. I also want you to know that I fully support our students receiving that additional instructional time and appreciate the focus of our student success on Saturdays. That's going to be able to help our children out with being able to get the extra instructional time that they need. So bringing Saturday school back was something that I greatly appreciate. I would also like to thank the families and staff here at AESD for their continued support and their partnership while they go through us during the transitional time that we're going through. It's not our first time going through this time, and we've had quite a few superintendents. But your dedication to your students, as well as this district, truly makes a difference here. I appreciate that. I'm gonna ignore some other things, but I also would like some clarification, because I noticed that regarding the direction given during our public comment that a speaker cannot reference a trustee by name. I am referenced by name throughout the years that I've been here. My understanding of the Brown Act is that while we can maintain our order and be respectful in our conduct, we must be respectful. We must have board meetings that are maintained in order. We cannot impose content-based restrictions, though, on public comment. I also want to center this conversation on the public that we serve. Members of the public come here to be heard, including the ability to speak directly to us. When we impose limits on our public, such limits could make our public not want to come out and express themselves. And this is a welcoming environment, and we want the public to come out so we know what the community is thinking, the questions that they have of us, and to be transparent, they should be allowed to come and to speak. To avoid any confusion moving forward, I respectfully ask that us as a board go over the rules for the Brown Act and make sure that we are clear on what we say out here and with regards to the public speaking. That's all that I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, what a night, almost 8:30. Let's go. On April the 7th, we held a board governance retreat. We had been working on establishing a board governance retreat since we contracted with HYA. I just want to be very clear to the public. The board contracted with HYA for fractional chief of staff services, for specialized governance services, and for our governance. And it is it's more than us being able to just get along, right? It is about the stability of this district. It is about the kids of this district. So I just share that with the public and with everyone listening, that this board is committed to working as a team of 5. And we have been putting in the effort, we have been putting in the homework to start becoming a unified team. And it's not just about a unified team. It is about also becoming a unified community. What is going on, what the type of politics, the type of adult kind of games that are being, in my view, are prevalent, it's very divisive. It is very almost a shame. You know, as the younger person on this board, I look up to the adults. But how can you look up to the adults when, you know, these sorts of politics, these sorts of targeting of trustees and things that are happening that really should not be happening at a school board? The challenges that we're facing are truly unique. And that goes back to what just happened, right? Well, let me slow down a bit. That retreat was supposed to be a sign, a signal that we'd be moving together forward as a unit, that we would try to work as a team of 5. Because at the end of the day, it does not have to be 3-2. It doesn't have to be that way. And as a matter of fact, people in the community benefit from this board being divided. So, the retreat that we had on April 7th, we agreed that we would be turning the page. So much so that we have our norms now printed out in front of us. These are norms that have been set by the board and approved in 2023. So I want to talk about two norms that are important for us as a community to start focusing on. The one norm, we devote our time and energy to important business issues, not to politics, pettiness, or ungraciousness. Excuse me. The other one, we do not withhold or obstruct the flow of important information that belongs with the governance team. You know, the effort that's being made, we actually had to table this at the last meeting. Well, I should say we didn't have to, but out of our effort to try and work as a team, we tabled it. We tabled this item because one of our colleagues had a concern, and we wanted to hear from her, right? What do you need, right? What can we do to make this right? That's why I agreed that we should hear out, and all in the effort of wanting to work together. So I thought we were, and I still have faith that we will get there. But I think there needs to be that other context provided, you know. So I'm just kind of, I'm also curious, like what's going on? And I guess I kind of heard a little bit, you know, I was listening carefully, and I get that we still have, you know, um, some high feelings, some high emotions about, you know, how the district is moving forward. And maybe, and I was just, you know, so I hear that. And I get that, you know, it's tough. It's tough, especially if there's a strong relationship there, right? It's hard to, it takes time. It takes time. And I just want to say, wrapping up here, is that we also need a superintendent. You know, we need to move forward, I guess is what I need to say. Like, I know that what I'm hearing is tough, but what is the end game here? You know, like I'm curious, genuinely curious, but let me just wrap this up saying that we have a great interim superintendent. He's doing I mean, the fact that he's tackling this budget issue, perhaps one of the most challenging crises a school district can go through, he's navigating this, and he's doing a great job. I haven't heard anything but positive reviews, feedback, I should say, from to our superintendent. So I just want to, hopefully that sits, you know, I'm willing to move forward. You know, I don't know what's going on, but we know the challenges that have been going on. We know the high emotions that are involved, but it's time to move forward. It's time to turn that fresh page. It may take some time, but, you know, when are we going to say enough is enough? Let's start focusing on kids now. I mean, that's why we're here. I want to now, okay, I'm done. So we'll move forward to, thank you for being patient, Dr. Villegas. Moving on to superintendent reports and announcements.
Well, thank you very much to all, to those in Zoom and our board and cabinet and everyone else who is still here. And you know, I do appreciate all the comments that were said, and I think that's part of it. And you know, we're a family, and everyone's voice matters, and that's really important for everyone to know. And I want you to know this as well, as you know, I am hopeful that we do find the best possible superintendent for Adelanto, and I think that will happen. And while that happens, you know, I've committed to you that I'll be here to support the community for the good of the kids and with the best of my ability. And so I do want you to know that. I want our staff to know that you know, you will not, you're not alone. We will be together. There are so many great things happening in our district, and I think some of it has been said already. Gus Franklin. I had the privilege of being able to go and celebrate with Gus Franklin in Anaheim this Friday when they were officially recognized by the California Department of Education. And I'm also hopeful that as a board we can bring them here to the board and have an official congratulations on behalf of the board so that they know how special they are, because they really did work really hard to make that happen. And it's not just a one-year event. It's something that took a long time to accomplish. So we're very proud of that work that they're doing. But looking also where we are, I understand there's 24 more instructional days before the end of the year. That means the end of the year is coming fast, and so I know that there's so many things happening. End of the year is an exciting time because it's culminating of grades, culminating of sometimes transition into other schools, transition into high school for our 8th graders, and so it's an exciting time. And I just anyone who's out there watching, if you have children in our school district, enjoy this time. Testing is over or almost over, so hopefully the stress will be a little bit less for our students and they can enjoy these last 24 days and build some memories, because that's what at the end of the day that's part of what happens, as well as the memories that they have. I love the month of May also because we get to recognize staff, and so we have the opportunity to recognize classified staff, certificated staff. So I know in the next meetings there'll be some resolutions and some opportunities to celebrate our staff, the staff that really makes things work. And I think we've heard it from a lot of different folks that the work happens in the school sites. That's where their kids are in school, and that's where the biggest impact happens. And so we're really excited about that. And what was said about the budget, there are some concerns, as there are in a lot of schools in the state of California. The budget condition is complex. Declining enrollment affects us all, and so as we go through this, like I've guaranteed that I make to all, is that we're doing this together. We've assembled a very good budget committee that's looking at various things, and I think we've already made some adjustments along the way that are going to help us in the long path. So much more to come. In response to the question about the RFP process related to the after school programs, there has been a public RFP that went out, and that's being still looked at. There's a couple of committees that have looked at that, and there'll be a recommendation from the committees to provide to the leadership and then to the board. But then there's going to be a different one as well, a supplemental after-school program, which I think the Millionaire Minds one fits into that one, because it's not a comprehensive after-school program. It's a supplemental, at least the way we currently have it. They work in conjunction with another group, so they should have the opportunity. That has not flown yet. That should fly in the next 2 weeks. So they should be able to submit for that one as a supplemental. And so much more to come with that. And, our commitment to the community, a commitment to each other, is that we will continue to work hard for the good of the kids. So thank you and have a fantastic night.
Awesome. Thank you. Before we adjourn, wanted to adjourn in memory of Mr. Mark Forbes from Colombia and Miss Celinda. So we'll adjourn in his honor, in his memory. I motion that we adjourn in the memory of Mark Forbes. Is there a second?
Stewart, I second.
We'll take the vote. Ms. LeVay?
Trustee Kraus?
Kraus, aye.
Trustee LaFrench?
LaFrench, aye.
Trustee Stewart?
Stewart, aye.
Trustee Soto?
Soto, aye. Motion passes 4-0. Time is 8:39. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you.